let's talk about the Jordan phenomena, because I
Yeah.
think for me, and I think it'll be interesting to see your view as someone who sells sneakers as well. The number of Jordans I've seen, or I've seen regular people recognize that as a sneaker. Uh, I was at a wedding day before, and the bride and groom both were in Jordans.
Oh, guys.
And how have we come to this point of this phenomena in
Yeah.
India? That too.
Yeah. Actually, I gave a TED talk on this, and I have an interesting perspective. And I think it's fairly unique the way I look at it. Um, the way I see it is the stars really aligned for this to happen. It was a bunch of things put together, ranging from um, Phil Knight. I'm sure you've read Shoe Dog, right? Phil Knight, the dude who started Nike, is a very heartfelt man, full of emotion and love and sentiment. And we're real lucky that Nike was building as a brand selling emotion. And the way I see it is, Jordan signing with Nike was just luck. It was his mother telling him it was that decision. It was Adidas management changing. So, because Adidas management was changing, it was having a bad time. Didn't end up closing that because Adidas was popping at the time, right? So we're really lucky that Michael Jordan, being the independent brand that he is, met Nike being the independent brand that it is. I feel like if Jordan signed with Reebok, who he was very compelled to, or Adidas, or Converse, that again he wanted to, we wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had my career where it is today, right? Because Jordan was that eclectic of a brand. It was like, let's say if Shah Rukh Khan met a Nike, right, we'd see something different. If Amitabh Bachchan met, like, there's certain brands that just are so powerful in themselves, and if they really meet another, it was Kanye and just Kanye don't need Kanye would have been fine. But yeah, because Kanye did that with Nike and Adidas. Right? I don't think Michael Jordan would have.
Yeah.
That's why I think Kanye has that vision, right? So anyway, so Jordan meeting Nike, and Jordan also not caring about the shoes as much. Jordan was so obsessed with playing, and Nike was so obsessed about the story. And they looked at Jordan and said, "This story is so incredible. We got to give this its own thing." And then Nike, obviously not being able to estimate demand, led to the demand-supply disparity, right? The first 4 years, they were hoping for $3 million of sales. And the first year was 126 mil. That supply could not have been accounted for. These, especially in the 80s, this sort of supply chain is a time-consuming process. But I'm assuming at some point that they were like, yo, this demand supply is a good situation, And then they saw that demand supply was so much of like intangible brand value growth that led to volumes of sales in other categories for them. That it was like, oh, we got to keep doing this. And they have been like, facilitating like government support, like drug trade. Nike supports resale. And that's just been happening for the last like 4 decades. And, that's given so many people careers.
When it comes to purchasing Jordans, right?
Mm.
Again, there's no question what it's done, right, for the sneaker industry or just people getting into it. Again, for me, Jordan was the first pair that ever got me into it. I think in India, there's also this whole subculture of NBA and basketball that I've not seen that prevalent in Bombay, but for example, I was in Ambala for a few years, and that was an NBA fanatic audience.
I think there are communities within communities everywhere. It's just very, it's concentrated and fragmented at the same time. So there are strong concentrations because of how deep this sort of culture runs. In every community, there is a sub-community that's deeply fanatic about it. But then those sub-communities are very fragmented around the country.
Yeah.
So when people would ask us, our biggest markets, I'd say, I don't look at it as Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. It's so fragmented. Like, there's some super customers in every, locale. And, that's our market.
Break down the Jordan 1 silhouettes for me. And why does mids get so much hate?
Jordan 1's lows, highs, mids. So Jordan 1 highs with the original, right? So I was like, oh, that's super cool. Jordan lows were different shoes. it looks different, right? It's completely a different cut. That high missing makes this a completely different sneaker. Simply because on human beings, a high top sneaker makes you look shorter, so it really alters your physical perception, and a low top makes you look taller, and that's just so they're looked at as different shoes. So there's no disparity there. You're wearing lows, it's cool. Mids is a very it's a joke with like snob culture, and it plays very naturally into this like surface level industry of things, where it's like because it looks like a high, but it isn't. It was a very natural and easy joke to make. That oh you're not getting the good one.
Yeah,
It's like
it
getting an
feels like that.
Android phone that looks like an iPhone. It's like wearing things like that. And it was just an easy joke to make that caught on. But people don't actually have that prejudice.
When you see your sales,
Mids are some of our best selling
oh yeah,
sneakers because we're still selling to our a couple things, right? A, supply is stronger with mids because of easy access. B, the price point makes it easy access to a nascent stage audience, right? For them, it's like, oh, I can get a shoe that looks like, because they don't think so much. Look, the end consumer doesn't give a flying fuck. Okay, the fact of life, especially in industry, like everybody's like, oh shit, Kanye, Adidas done. What's gonna happen? Nothing. Virgil die was nothing. End consumer doesn't even know who Virgil or Kanye are. So for them, it's like, oh, I heard sneakers are cool. I saw Ranbir Kapoor wearing these. These look like that. How much are they? And they don't know Fragment Jordan 1, Royal Toe Jordan 1, some blue Jordan made. They're like, oh, Ranbir is wearing these. I wear these. Now my friends will see me wearing these and I will look like that. And at the end of the day, everybody lives in their own head. They don't really know how other people look at them. They hope for other people to look at them the way they are looking at themselves, which is absolutely bullshit. But
yeah.
it's fine, whatever makes you happy. I think the end goal is be happy.